Hi there, just on a lesson with Dan. Dan has joined Go2 Driving School. You've had some experience before, haven't you, with previous schools? You've had a couple of driving tests.
Yep.
So first and foremost, why did you decide to change driving schools, Dan?
Well, the main reason I changed driving school was because I failed my test twice and failed badly both times, which on my part was quite embarrassing, because obviously if you turn up for the day of your test and you think, I'm ready for this, and then you get as many majors as I did, I thought there was something going wrong. So the main thought process behind me changing driving schools was getting a second opinion on if I'm actually ready for my test, and to see if I could improve my own driving skills with another instructor.
Okay. So you felt probably a lack of preparation, probably. Well, you realised that after the results of the test.
Yep.
And was it a good decision to change and get that second opinion? How do you?
Yeah, I think it was a good decision. I mean, I've only had a couple of lessons with you. My gaps in my knowledge have already been filled in many areas.
Yeah.
So we never really had any objectives with my previous instructor, and we've already established a few areas of concern and put solutions in place, and then tried and tested them to make sure that their areas are now a lot better and I'm a lot more comfortable in them particular areas.
Brilliant. And how many hours have you had so far with us, would you say?
I think it's 8 hours.
Okay, and how would you put those 8 hours into comparison with what you did previously? How many hours did you have before, by the way?
I think I had around about 50 hours worth of training with my other instructor. And I feel like in the last 20 hours with my other instructor, I've come further in the last 8 hours with yourselves, and well, actually in the last 30 hours with my previous instructor. It got me to a certain stage where I could operate the car, I could do the basic safety checks, but the more advanced stuff, I feel like I've come further in the last 8 hours than I did ever with my previous instructor in terms of safety checks and reducing the risk.
Brilliant. It's really good to hear. So you're happy with the overall service and glad that you made the change?
Yeah, the change has been a positive thing, and I used to think my other instructor was good at what he did, but after a couple, 8 hours with yourselves, it's clear to see that you're a lot better, and I'd highly recommend changing to yourselves.
Excellent. Today then, I know we've done some driving before we sort of recorded this, but what we've been looking at today so far?
We did roundabouts. It wasn't an original objective, but it kind of turned into, when you addressed it as an issue, didn't it? Kind of turned that into an area of concern, because obviously I was, again, it's a staring to the right type thing,
okay,
and not looking forward. So we and the way you did it, obviously you addressed the problem, and then you told me what to do to fix it, and then obviously now I've put that into place.
Brilliant. And making progress already, aren't you?
I feel like I am. I mean, I feel like a lot more comfortable when coming up to roundabouts, because I feel like I don't know what it is, but with myself, when I feel like I'm changing gears too early, I feel like I'm slowing down too early. But I don't know if I suppose if you're letting the other person know with your brake lights, then they should really do the same, shouldn't they? And if they can see my brake lights going on to slow down, like I felt like I had to do everything at the end because I was slowing down to it, like slowing down too early on the road, so that the cars were coming faster and like tailgating me. But I suppose it's about I just give myself more time on them, don't I? Because if you slow down you give yourself more time, then there's no like panicking of gear changes. You can do it all smoothly, and then the gear change, if it's in place before you've even come to the roundabout, and obviously you had to check your mirror, well, it should be mirrors indicators manoeuvre, so obviously as long as you do them in that earlier, then obviously it gives yourself more time to check both ways, and then obviously it prevents you stopping, doesn't it? Because if you can check early, like if you've done everything early, like so you're not messing around with gears and stuff,
yeah,
then obviously it just makes it so easy for yourself, because the only thing you've got to do when you actually get to the roundabout is to assess whether it's safe,
definitely,
to actually go.
Definitely. Turn left at the end. Roundabout, its first exit. So you're finding your roundabouts easier then?
In general, yeah. Definitely. Just putting the things in place.
That's where you want to apply just a little bit more thickness on your brake, so that when your clutch comes up, it's smooth, the speeds match. And two, it's just going to give you a bit longer locking time if needed. You didn't need it then, but you might need it in future. You know, like we said, you asked me earlier, didn't you, about the braking on the approach?
Did you jump the car?
Yeah.
Kind of jump.
Yeah, a sign that you hadn't braked it. So at the roundabout, we've got two roundabouts coming up, you'll see from the diagram ahead. We're going to go ahead at the first one, second exit. At the second one, turning left, first exit. Signals coming up there.
Oh, yeah.
To exit your roundabouts. So left, yeah, first exit. What, this one? Yeah. Sure that it's consistent,
Yeah.
because you've seen the benefits today, haven't you, through looking forwards as well as right. Not
Yeah.
just to the right, because you're not looking where you're going.
Yeah, which obviously I cut halfway across, well, almost into someone else's lane until he told me to look forward, and I realised my steering was going on because of the way the road bent round. So I corrected it, but then obviously that's when I realised the benefits of it. Obviously, because if you're checking both ways, you can see where you're going, and obviously then also make sure it's safe to actually go.
Taking in more information per second, aren't you?
Exactly, and also when you come to the roundabout, just because it's clear right doesn't necessarily mean there's not going to be a car in front of you where it's bolted traffic, which is something that can easily happen. You can easily stare right and then look forward and then see that. Then when you look forward, you realise that there's actually traffic built up across the roundabout.
Yeah.
Just in front of your car, and you get stuck into no man's land then.
That's it, definitely. Good. All right. So we've got one more session tomorrow, haven't we?
That's correct, John.
We'll probably talk through tomorrow, sort of a plan really. I know your test is at the end of the month.
That's correct. I mean,